What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. The days of the week have gotten long, and the Juventus fans are getting tired of the situation. What's going on with Paul Pogba? We were promised that a meeting would be happening during this week. Is it going to stretch into the weekend? Will we have it? Here we go. There's a lot to talk about, as well as all the other news in the Mercado of what Juventus is setting up for the assault to get in a much better squad going into next season. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it is Thursday, May 26, 2022, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you care about each and every day. Before we get into it though, I do kindly ask you all, I say kindly, right? Would you please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you do that, though. Please do hit the like button. It really does help our channel, and it helps us to grow. It helps with all the algorithm and all the nonsense that goes along with that. So we ask that because I have to do that. Otherwise, some of these videos will just be for naught. Algorithm, YouTube, it is what it is. All right, let's get into it. The news of the day, of course, is revolving around Paul Pogba, but of course, we have many other things to talk about on top of him. The very first one, though, is talking about Pogba and his situation with Juventus. Will he, won't he? What was going to happen there? Alfredo Padula has a report saying that Pogba to Juventus is in the closing stages. All that is missing are some of the final details on the bonuses, something the club will resolve in the next few days. We appreciate the report, Alfredo. The question is, when are the next few days? It's been, and I kind of went on this rant last night on the live. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. Julian and I had it after dark with the Bianconeri Zone faithful. One of the things that stuck with me was when you tell me the next few days, I don't like that. I don't like that because I'm a very literal person. When I say that, what I mean is I'm very literal. If you say the next few days, that means maximum 3 days. In a maximum of 3 days, you will be meeting. That's how I take it. I'm very literal. It is what it is. If you want to say in the next week or two, that's fine. That can be a little bit more open to interpretation. But when you say the next few days, it means 3 days. We were told the next few days back in, Saturday, Friday, Sunday of last week. Or Sunday's this week, but you know what I mean. It depends how you do the calendar. I feel like a lot of fans are starting to get irritated. So we'll see what happens. I feel we should still feel good with the Paul Pogba situation. But again, quit telling me the next few days if you don't really know what you're talking about. Next up, we have Tutto Sport talking about the situation going on with Pogba. Juventus wants Pogba and Pogba wants Juventus. The foundation have been laid, and now the only last details are missing. Juve are not in a hurry as they feel confident about closing the deal. Well, I'm glad you're not in a hurry. I'm glad you all have all the time in the world. I'm glad that you are not sitting on edge waiting for this here we go live to happen. I know it's selfish and it's me complaining because we're ready to do this and we're on pins and needles every single day, setting alarms. Is it time? Is it the day to do it? No. Just all I'm asking, just let us know. Just let us know when the meeting's gonna be scheduled for. Is that too much to ask? Let us know the day of the meeting, and then I can go about my day, and everything will be calm, and Justin will be fine. Anyway, continue on to the sports. Says Pogba has spoken on the phone with former teammates about his return to Turin, confirming his desire to return to wear the black and white jersey. We threw the picture up yesterday. I don't have it on me right now, but we threw up the picture yesterday. Paul Pogba also revealed a new hairstyle, and I know some people don't like all that. Whatever, you guys can get over yourselves. The hair's fine. The hair's not an issue. It's not whatever. It's not a whatever. It's not dramatic. It's not whatever. Attention seeking. He has fun. Let him have fun with it. Anyway, his new hairstyle and his barber also confirmed it. Basically, it's white. He has all white hair, platinum, if you will. But basically, obviously, we know what that means. He's saying going back to Juventus. I think he said something along the lines of, is it time or whatever? You know what time it is, or something like that. And to which his barber, who did his hair that day, responded in the comment section saying "Pog back" with the black and white, next to it. So I think we all know what's happening right now, right? It's just that's why my frustration. We know it's gonna happen. We know we're and like I said, I'm not here for any of the naysayers, the Julians on the channel anymore. Pogba's happening. just let us know when we can get ready to go. Let's do the here we go. I'm ready for it. All right. Let's move on, talk about a player who's not so certain right now, and that is, of course, the player of Di Maria. What's going on with him right now? Tuto Sports, yesterday we had some reports going out there saying that Allegri wasn't so sure that this was a player that he wanted, mainly because they can't take advantage of the decree, which would be if he played for Italy for 2 seasons, it would work out well. It would be a cheaper option for them. If he only plays for 1, they don't get any of the financial benefits there. And then also being that he wants a player that's motivated. When he means motivated, he means a player that is younger, which is weird for Allegri because he only wants experienced players, right? But at the same time, a player, when we say motivated, is a player that wants to go out there and is going to play their hardest. What tells you that Di Maria is going to be that guy, right? Just given the situation of that he's on the outs of his career and he's ready to move on, spend time with family and all that. And I get that. Go back to Argentina. Eventually, I do understand that. But at the same time, if you're going to play for Juve, you got to bring it. Anyway, the report from Tuto Sports says Di Maria and Juve are closer than ever. Yesterday, Allegri spoke to Cherubini, confirming his total approval for the for Agnelli. It's weird, it says for the Agnelli. He's not an angel, whatever. And anyway, for whom there is still a few contract details to iron out, but with growing confidence that the deal will be closed. So there's the situation as it stands right now. It looks like this report conflicts with what yesterday was saying. All things are good. They just get the details done, whatever it takes for the contract, and then Di Maria will be a Juve player. That's what they're saying. Nico Schiera also kind of confirms this, saying that Di Maria and Juve, ongoing discussions on the length of the contract. The breakthrough may come this weekend as Cherubini will be in Paris. So, given the situation with Paul Pogba and our, non-knowledge of when he's actually going to end up making his decision. Is he going to come to Juve? Is he not? Well, his decision's made, but contractually, if it's going to be made, it very well could be Di Maria that is the first one that pops for Juve. And that may be the first here we go that we have. So it's going to be one between the 2 players. Which one are we talking about? Which one are we having it? Keep an eye on it. We'll have you covered. If it's not me, it's going to be one of us, Julian, Alejandro, myself, talking about Di Maria or Pogba becoming official Juventus players. And we'll be excited about that to finally be able to actually talk about something more tangible. All right, let's continue on. Another topic we need to talk about is another attacker that Juventus could be going at. It's an old name that's being brought back up, and that is Gabriel Jesus. Corriere dello Sport are reporting basically just saying that City will not hand out any discounts for Jesus, even though they know that he's leaving. A figure, they want 60 million euros, a figure currently considered excessive for Juventus, which on the contrary would have no problem offering a contract to the player who currently earns 6 million euros. So they can pay the wage as it stands, but when it comes to actually paying the 60 million euros to City, who I think probably only have like another year left on his contract or whatever is going on there, I think overall, it's the Juventus, Cherubini, Arriva Bene, especially Arriva Bene, are not going to make dumb financial decisions. They're not going to overpay for players when they can get them later. I think this is a situation where maybe this one will die down and maybe we'll be looking more focused in at Raspadori in that situation. Or maybe, maybe it plays no role at all. And maybe the Gabriel Jesus, I don't know why that one's so hard for me to get out, is more of a smokescreen than anything. All right, let's continue on. Talking about our report yesterday about Udogi, Nico Schiera comes out and says that Udinese would like to cash in at 30 million euros for the sale of Molina, but the Friulian club intends to keep Udogi for one more season. So while it looks like Juventus want to make an assault on the player and get him to become a Juventus player, he may not be on the table, and that would be worrisome for Juventus, obviously, for the left-back position, but also because this is a little bit of foreshadowing because we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the reports. There seems to be a different direction that potentially Juve could be going with, coming from the Bible himself. I'm talking about Romeo Agresti. So we'll see. It looks like they would be willing to sell Molina, though. That is an option Juventus have been rumored to be interested in. But Udogi seems to be priority number 1. So we'll see if they refuse to sell him, then the other options are out there. Anyway, let's continue, though. Marco Conterio is talking about Arthur and the situation with him and Arsenal and all of that. You talk about, obviously, Arsenal seems to be the best option, the best fit for Arthur to make a move from Juventus. He's saying that Arthur likes the Arsenal idea, but they won't spend 40 million euros to get him. That's why Juventus, the parties are considering swapping between the sides, as in some of the players we've mentioned before, and they're saying that among the names is midfielder Thomas Partey. Another one of the names is Gabriel Jesus, what am I doing? Gabriel, who they have here playing as a center back there for Arsenal. That's a feasible name that I think is a solid option. I'm not going to say he overly excites me or anything like that, but he's a player that could be feasible. My main issue with this is the more we look at this and we look at the situation and the way that they're trying to parse this, that they're trying to piece together, how Juventus with these deals can be done. I feel like this is just going to be another. If it's a player like Thomas Partey, and Partey had higher, he felt like he had a higher ceiling a couple years ago. Now, I'm not so certain. I just feel like this is going to be an underwhelming swap deal. I feel like this whole process from, Pjanic to bringing in Archer to now you're trying to swap Archer out for another disappointment. I just feel like this is going to be an ongoing, trade system that's going to keep playing itself out and keep being disappointing for Juventus and most importantly for Juventus fans. That's the way I sit with it right now about Partey. Maybe you disagree with me. You let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, then we talk about, mentioning Gabriel, obviously, is one of the options Juventus are looking at for the defensive back, center back position. Corriere dello Sport had reporting saying that what they're looking at what the moves could be for the next replacement of Chiellini, who has, it looks like for all intents and purposes, that he will, here we go, to LAFC, Los Angeles in the United States here. So congrats to him in his, victory lap tour, if you will. After that, but back on topic when it comes to this, this is Corriere dello Sport reporting saying that talks have begun with the entourage of Badiashile. I always have a hard time getting that one out. I don't know why. For whom Monaco are asking close to 35 million euros. Less than Arsenal are asking for Gabriel, for whom they are asking 50 million euros. So that's a hefty number that I hadn't heard previously. So we'll see how that would work, especially if they're valuing Archer at 40, then Juve are going to pay 10 million over that. We'll see. There also have been phone calls with Ramadani for Milinkovic, the Fiorentina player, who's valued at about 15 million euros. If we're looking at these options right here, if you're telling me you can get Badiashile for 35 million euros, I was expecting that price to be 40. I understand it's only 5 million less. I'd go for Badiashile. I think he could be a really, really good option, and I think he's an option that has potential for the future. He's not just a stopgap kind of player. I don't know what Gabriel can be long-term, and then when it comes to Milinkovic, he's a cheap option. That's a really good stopgap option that I think. So that's where I sit on it. You let me know which defender you'd prefer. I think if you have those options, Badiashile is the way to go. Let's move it on, though, and talk about another player that Juventus are trying to move on, and that would be Adrien Rabiot and the situation going on with him. Corriere dello Sport are reporting that Rabiot is not a non-transferable for Juventus, so I'd hope not, right? He is about to enter the final year of his contract, and no new deal has been offered, which implies that in order to lose him for free, they consider selling the player. So that would mean, obviously, they got to sell him this year, otherwise he's gone for free, but who cares? I mean, honestly, next year. The Premier League is interested, and the player himself has expressed interest. Tuchel is an old admirer of his, and the new Chelsea ownership could be ready to invest. Watch out also for Tottenham, where Paratici is his great admirer. Is this a situation where, once again, Paratici is going to come save, Juventus a player? But, I mean, I understand a lot of people are harsh right now because Kulusevski's looking pretty darn fine over there at Tottenham with his performances there at the end of the season. But it could be an option that Paratici will come to the table and try to buy another player of Juventus's. We'll see, either them or Chelsea, whichever one. Y'all line up and y'all take our guy Rabiot and save me another season of that, if we'll be honest. Continuing on, let's talk about the Milinkovic-Savic rumors that have been floating out there lately. Romeo Agresti was reporting saying that Milinkovic-Savic question, there's a question there. I don't know why I don't like when they do it like that. If you get Pogba, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic becomes utopia. Now, there's a couple ways to translate this, if you will. I feel like, obviously, the negative way is probably the more realistic way to translate this and where we probably should be feeling right now. Basically, what the negative way is utopia means it's never going to happen. It's a dream. It's a whatever. It's never going to happen. So yeah, you're never going to get SMS if Pogba comes in. The other way to determine it or to translate it is if you really just want to be, grass is always green guy, always happy, whatever, happy-go-lucky, is that, that would be fantastic. That would be a great deal that Juventus could do. But no, I think at this point we all need to realize, we've said this for a long time. I dared to even dream last night about it just because some of the rumors are becoming so persistent and they're repeating it so often that I was like, well, maybe there's something to it. But no, it appears that once Pogba's signed, that'll be it for Milinkovic-Savic. He's not coming. Focus your I guess your target somewhere else, somewhere a little bit lower than obviously a player like that. So we'll see which one they'd actually go with. Does that mean I get to be super disappointed and they end up having Paredes come in or, Thomas Partey or whatever? Or is it something where even like I would be somewhat happy with, I think, with a player like Jorginho or something like that? We'll see. Keep an eye on it. We'll keep you updated every step of the way. All right. And here's, if you want to be disappointed, you'll be glad you stuck around in the video for this long. Romeo Guidetti was talking about the situation with the left back position. And right now, what he's saying is, Udogie, he's doing very well. It's normal that Juve follow him. As of today, for me, for Romeo Guidetti, the Bianconeri are still thinking about Emerson Palmieri, as he is highly regarded by Allegri, who wanted him since the days when he played at Roma. So, there's your disappointment of the day. Served to you on a cold plate, little wet, little soggy, not appetizing at all. But there it is. That's your dead fish that I'm handing everybody. Everybody who's watching this video right now, there's your dead fish. That's what Juve potentially are going after. Emerson Palmieri to come in. Bit of a disappointment, if that is true. And this is, Romeo Guidetti, who I take his opinions, I value them a lot more than I would almost anybody else's opinions. So this is one of those situations where it would disappoint me. I would hope that they would, as reports out there yesterday were hinting towards, that they would really focus in on Udogie and bringing him in. There'd be a really good young Italian talent to bring into Juventus. So there it is. Let me know your thoughts. Emerson Palmieri, potential Juventus player. And let's move on to the very last story of the day, and let's talk about Miretti's situation. Nico Schira basically reporting that Juventus believe Fabio Miretti is ready for the first team. Nicolo Fagioli would like to renew and stay at Juventus as well. So there it is. It appears that there seems to be a future there. There have also been recent reports there that Fabio Miretti, even though he can end up staying with the first team and really cementing being confirmed, whatever you want to call it, Nicolo Fagioli and Rovella could kind of battle it out for that last spot, and you could have both Fagioli or Rovella there along. Well, let me rephrase that. You could have Fabio Miretti, so both him and one of those other two players remain with the club. So we'll keep an eye on that and update you every step of the way as that continues to develop. That'll do it, though, for today's edition of the Daily News. Let me know your thoughts on all the topics we talked about today in the comment section down below. Are you worried about Paul Pogba? Do you think this is a situation that Juventus really either are, I don't want to say flubbing it, but where they're just taking way too long to get things done? Or do you think it's just comma, all these things will happen in time. He wants Juve want him. It's just working on the contract. I tend to lean toward the latter, really. But of course, when we want to have something to talk about, it's a little bit difficult to really fully 100% stick with that side of the issue. Let me know also the other issues we talked about. What do you think about the Arthur Partey potential trade? Is that something that excites you? Because I'm not on board with that one, and that one really does worry me that we're going to get stuck in this trade sequence year by year by year of just kind of underwhelming players. So that's the way I stick with it. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, as well as make sure you're following Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.